He is a comic book nerd.
In brightest day and darkest night. We can learn a lot from comics.
She is a reality TV junkie.
No idea.
Snooki had her baby. A dollar makes me holla.
Chris likes sci-fi.
They do a brain transplant into this whole new body, but it's you.
Kristyn likes celebrity gossip.
Breaking news.
Oh, more breaking news?
Official. Official. Before it was just a rumor. These two, our paths, moved back in together.
What do they have in common? Nothing. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Now, here's Chris and Kristyn.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kristyn. Welcome
and
back. We
only
survived.
Mother Nature
could ruin everything
could
for
make
us.
this, slow us down. It's not going to stop us.
Right.
Only
It's just temporary.
This is the story of my life. Because, we were planning, for those who are fans of the show and listeners, we were recording this on November 1st, or releasing it on November 1st. We were supposed to go down to Red Bank, New Jersey to be part of the Smod Coast Morning Show with Mike and Ming.
And that bitch came and,
that
bitch slapped us.
Sandy. Fuck you, Sandy.
Yeah.
I can't.
Now whenever I meet somebody, Sandy, anything, it's just gonna have that stigma.
Look, your name is Sandy. You
Fuck
change
you.
It. That's you don't. You got to change your name. Do something. You're Sarah now.
Yeah, sorry, because we're not gonna.
If I see a girl named, if I ever meet a girl named Sandy, I'm gonna punch her right in the baby maker.
Right in
I
the
swear
tip.
to God, because I can't.
I don't want to look at her. I don't want to look at her.
Like I'm mad, but I have no one to be mad at.
Right. Mother
Except
Nature.
Mother
She's a
Nature.
fucking dick. Mother Nature, needs a Papa Nature. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mother
that
Nature
bitch
needs to get laid.
Exactly. I
Mother
am so
Nature.
Angry. But like
It's
I said,
just a temporary
it's just,
setback.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who say when God closes a door, he opens a window.
Well,
but it's a lot
let's open
fucking
something.
harder to climb through a window.
Let's open a big bay window. A big window.
One of them
We all
fucking
can
sliding
fit through.
door
Yeah.
windows.
We can all get through.
I'm just, but, keep calm, be happy, move on. Maybe everything happens for a reason.
Yes. Right? We'll go with that slogan.
Everything happens for a reason. We're gonna come back fucking hard. I'll tell you that. We're funny. We're gonna funny bitch slap somebody. So,
speaking of bitch slap, did you hear? We'll go back to Sandy in a second because that is a big thing. Gene Hackman, who's like 80 something.
Yeah, Gene Hackman.
He bitch slapped a homeless
guy.
And that's a real man because the homeless guy, I don't care, it could be any guy, whatever. The fact that he's homeless doesn't matter in the story. He called his wife a cunt.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, I don't even know what the reason was. It didn't really say, but the guy called his wife a cunt, and Gene Hackman just went, pfft,
yeah.
And that was it.
Hey, he stood up for his woman.
You're the man.
Gene Hackman, one of, the greatest actors of our generation. Mm-hmm. There's a joke in the movie PCU. You ever seen that movie PCU?
Oh, yeah, that's an old one, yeah.
And it's the Kane Hackman theory, where every hour of the day there's a Gene Hackman or Michael Caine movie at any given time. At any given time, which I would really, nowadays with, 24-hour networks and everything like that. And, if you got a TiVo, and, because, TiVo can record movies to your preference.
To your
if there's
likings,
a certain
right?
actor, you can record everything you're in.
That'd be an easy
if I
study
did
if you have TiVo.
A Michael Caine, Gene Hackman dedicated TiVo, that would be awesome. And in particular, my two favorite movies with Gene Hackman, The Birdcage.
Oh, it's a funny one.
And
that's an oldie but goodie.
And he plays the straight man. Mm-hmm. But it takes, for dealing with Robin Williams, and who was Robin Williams' boyfriend? It's on the tip of my tongue.
God, I can picture his face.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Those guys are dedicated comedic actors.
Yeah.
And
making everybody around them laugh. It must have been a great set.
Yeah, for Gene Hackman to hold his own with two comedy, giants, and the movie was so great. Mm-hmm. And my second favorite movie, which is one of those, it doesn't play on cable that often, but I can watch it all the time, Crimson Tide. And I might have mentioned that in another episode. Crimson Tide, it's him and Denzel Washington, and Gene Hackman is the captain, and Denzel Washington is, the executive officer in charge of a submarine.
Okay.
And they...
Oh, I've seen that. I didn't... Yeah.
That is such a good movie. And, you know, Denzel Washington, who's a great actor in his own right, seeing Hackman and Denzel Washington... The two of them. And I'm generally not a drama guy, but that movie... It
was tense.
It's intense. And so those are the... Of course, Gene Hackman's done a billion movies, but those are
Nathan Lane?
Nathan Lane,
yes.
Yeah.
He's been in everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know, and it's... To see, you know, Nathan Lane and Robin Williams...
That must have been a great set to work on.
Big freaking, you know, and also in the movie, the guy from The Simpsons. He does pretty much like a fifth of all the voices.
Oh,
Simpsons.
yeah.
Everybody, everybody but the original four Simpsons he does, you know.
Do you want me to look him up too? I exited out, Chris.
But in that movie, he was the maid or butler.
Hang on, Chris.
Hank Azaria.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. My brain
You're a little slow to see
fingers.
what Sandy did to you?
Yeah. Hank Azaria, who is one of those comedians, and I mentioned this, once again, I mentioned this in the past episode, where his body is in great shape.
Oh, yeah. He was in, where he was shirtless. Shirtless.
Oh, shirtless. I know, like, Run Fat Boy Run.
No, it was with, like, Ben Stiller. Was it Ben Stiller, where his wife runs off? Was it Long King Polly? I don't know.
Might have been.
And he was like the scuba dude.
Yeah. It's just funny for a guy who's known for
behind
comedy.
The scenes too.
Because when you see all the Simpsons people, they're mutants.
Right. There's a reason why they do voices.
Are, you know, then you got Hank Azaria, who...
He's ripped.
Who could be a Hollywood... You know, I'm surprised that paycheck from Fox is probably nice and big to do voices.
Right.
But, you know, he's cut up. He's a good-looking guy. He's funny. They wasted him in Godzilla. Like, for his character, he was a camera operator in Godzilla.
Oh, really? Yeah, he always had, like, small roles in movies.
Yeah, but he could hold his own.
He's been in, like, a bunch of stuff. Like, but you wouldn't know unless you knew who that guy was. You're like, oh, he does, like, 30 voices on The Simpsons.
It's like Moe and, the bus driver.
Name somebody. Yeah, Long King Polly was Cloud.
Claude?
Cloud. Yeah. Because he had, like, the ridiculous accent. He's like, we go scuba. And it was like... And he came up, like, with a loincloth on. And then was all tan and buff.
Yeah, there's no... These people must make a deal with the devil or something like that. Where they're good-looking, charming, successful, rich.
Can do a million voices.
Yeah, a million voices. Like, I mean, the nerds... Just doing anything nerd-wise, you're gonna work forever. At the very least, do comic book conventions to the day you die. Like, right now, recently, we went to RockCon. The guy who played Scotty on Star Trek, his son was there. So, here's the guy who's... Because the guy who played Scotty's dead.
Right.
His son is going to sci-fi conventions, comic book conventions.
Yeah. And then his son, and then...
Yeah.
It's gonna be generations upon generations.
So, it's... These guys, you could work for the rest of... You're gonna have work to the day you die if you're in a sci-fi community or nerdy community. And he's good looking.
And people know who you are. That's what's great. Like, people know that you're the son of so-and-so.
But
you nerds know everything.
Yeah, I think these people are selling their soul to the devil. And, we'll go back to Sandy. Speaking of selling your soul to the devil.
What did we do now?
Have you heard about Disney's new acquisition?
For Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Disney has purchased Lucasfilm.
Okay.
For $4.5 billion.
Just a couple billion laying around. Now, why?
Why? Because Disney wants to own everything.
I didn't know if there was, like, I don't know.
No, for no particular reason.
Yeah,
now, George Lucas was already sitting pretty.
Okay.
Because he has merchandising rights for all his movies. His, one of the deals he made with
the devil
was when he first made Star Wars. I forgot when he made Star Wars, he had purposely said, I want to keep all merchandising rights.
Okay.
And the movie studios really weren't expecting much out of Star Wars. They thought it was going to be one movie.
That's it.
Sci-fi.
30 years later.
Going to pass away, fade into existence. Now, on merchandise alone, his empire was built.
I was going to say, I'm sure.
He doesn't have to direct movies. Directing movies is like pastime for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like a little hobby.
Yeah.
To direct these huge blockbuster hits.
I'll make the next Indiana Jones,
I know, when I get around to it,
Yeah, I got a couple weeks kicking around.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just...
So, I'll just do this today.
It wasn't like Lucasfilm was in any trouble, but
they just,
Mickey
like,
Mouse showed up
yeah.
with his...
Give me the check and...
what do they call that? The book? What do you call the book when you keep the checks in?
A checkbook?
Checkbook. I don't know why.
Really,
What's going
Chris?
wrong with my brain
book
today?
that keeps
The book
the
you keep checks in. Checkbook? Forgive me, people.
What's
I'm
that
trying
card
not
where
to
it has
stutter
debit?
and say and
And it's really throwing you off.
it's really throwing
Chris,
me
you
off.
do what
That's
you
why
have
I'm
to
like
do.
I'm holding my breath. I'm anticipating
What's
too
that
much.
card?
And locking
It's
up.
got credit on it. What would you
Yeah, what's
call
that card?
it?
And yeah. What's that card that has your identification on it?
What's that liquid you put in your car? It smells like gas. What would you call that?
So, Mickey Mouse, or the people who
Or the
represent
devil.
Mickey Mouse, showed up with a
The
paycheck. and
devil
said,
dressed as Mickey Mouse.
which, would it
I
be?
would just-
How does Disney get to that point where it is? And
So they're
and
aren't they
actually,
didn't they already say they're going to come out with
and
in like
the
2015?
big-
I don't know the date.
big
year.
nerd revelation is that they're working on a new Star Wars.
Okay, yeah.
Episode 7, continuing after the original
Okay.
trilogy, which is held deeply in people's hearts.
Here he
And
is. Here he goes.
they're gunning for 2015.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
That's around the corner.
to make
For a
do
movie
you want to
like
make
Star
a huge
Wars?
and you don't want it to flop
Yeah.
because you were gonna piss some nerds off.
It's going to make money if it's
Oh, yeah.
a CGI Jar Jar farting for an hour and a half into the camera.
I'd watch it. That's my shit.
People are going to show up to see
Talk
it.
about fart jokes.
And
Chris.
once again, merchandising rights, you'll see Jar Jar on cups at 7-Eleven. You'll see, the action farting Jar Jar at Toys R Us.
Does Jar Jar have gas? Jar Jar has some gastrointestinal problems.
Well, he does. Does he fart in the movie? No, he doesn't fart, but he steps in shit.
Okay.
In one.
So
in
farting's the
one
next
movie.
step.
Excuse me. There
Jar Jar steps in
is this
shit.
other animal that farts, and Jar Jar goes, "How rude!" Or,
Oh,
"How
no, Jar
rude."
Jar's got class.
Yeah, well, no,
we'll
how
see.
rude, which reminds me of the little girl from Family.
No,
Full
you
House.
know it. Don't try and deny it. Full House.
Full House. It took me a second.
Michelle
I was about
Tanner?
to say Family Manners, but Family Matters is the same umbrella as Full House. So,
Different color.
to appeal to the younger audience, that's what, my generation growing up, and I hate to quote How I Met Your Mother, but there is an
You know how I feel
episode
about
where they
it.
draw a line where the Neil Patrick Harris character
Yeah,
is
Bernie.
trying to figure out, his girlfriend says she doesn't like the Ewoks.
Okay.
And then he goes, oh shit, she's older than she's saying what she is. Because older people
Don't
saw
like
the
the
first
Ewoks?
2 Star Wars movies, then saw the third one, and saw the Ewoks and said, oh my god, that's an obvious ploy for kids. It's destroying the whole trilogy.
Okay.
And then, actually, my generation, because
so
I was
deep.
6 years old when I went to go see Star Wars.
And so you thought
Star
they were
Wars.
cute.
I thought they were cute. I was 6
Right.
when Return of the Jedi came out. So seeing Ewoks kind of endeared me to
A
them.
little furry creature.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I remember being 6 and going to the theater to see The Return of the Jedi. We went to a theater, it was on 2nd
There we
Avenue
go.
and 23rd Street. They used
Best
to
day
have
of
this winding
his life.
stairway. I remember going up this, it had to be like a Saturday. It was like a Saturday afternoon. It was one of the few
much was your
times I actually
ticket?
went to the movie with with both my parents. It was like a whole event.
Yeah.
And even after the movie, I remember we went to Burger King, and I had gotten my hands on
Because this is a great
the Burger
memory.
King Collector's Cup, which I had for years until it disappeared one day. And then I had to purchase a new one off eBay. But
Do you remember the day you were
it made
born?
such an impact.
Clearly. Changed your life forever.
Yeah, I remember the theater, and it was up on 23rd Street. And, once again, back in the day, where that particular theater, not where they used to give slides, and other places have done this also, but I remember specifically before the show, they would give slides of puppies playing and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was ads for like the ASPCA.
Yeah.
Or
Were they around then?
Oh, no, yeah. Jesus. I'm not that old. Jesus.
How old are you, Chris? I don't know. I feel like they just started like a couple years
ago. Or the Humane Society or something like that. I don't know if it was just...
Nobody was worried about that then.
If it was slides just for entertainment, or it might have been some sort of, like, you know, extended campaign to, like, oh, look, adopt
Save the
puppies.
World.
And so, you know, I remember before the movie seeing all the puppy slides, you know. It was one of those things.
It was a great day for Chris.
Yeah, it was...
His life has changed forever.
I can still remember it, and that's 32 years ago?
40? 45 years ago? How many?
No. I'm 35, I was 6. Excuse me, no. What the hell, 29
years ago.
Oh, I'm so old.
Great memory.
Disney has shown up talking about making a deal with the devil.
They better make it good, I don't know.
Lucasfilm was not in trouble. And they just said, how much? They opened up their checkbook and said, how much?
You know, it was like...
$4.5 billion. Surprisingly...
They had like a dartboard of a bunch of things that they could take over, and they just threw it in. And they're like, okay, we'll go contact him tomorrow.
Yeah, like for George Lucas to sell anything.
Right.
He is such a control freak.
Maybe he's just tired. Maybe he just wants to live life, you know? Like, here, you guys are in charge of it now.
He could have still been the master of the universe and still...
Maybe he's a silent partner.
Sit back. Oh, no, he's still going to be... Basically, they just bought it saying, okay, we're going to get all the profit. Like, they have promised not to change it. And I don't think they're going to change it because Disney's purchased Marvel, and there was, you know, all these comic book fans were like, oh, man, they're going to sanitize the comics and get rid of blood and violence.
Yeah.
And no, they're not. They just want the money. So
Disney is slowly taking over the world.
Purchasing everything. Now,
Mickey Mouse is around
our
the
generation,
corner.
and I guess maybe even though I'm older than you, we're kind of reverting a little bit where things from our childhood are being revamped.
Yeah.
Transformers, which I've heard Transformers 4 is coming out. So they're making Transformers 4, which has nothing to do with Michael Bay.
Yeah.
But the other 3 movies made so much money that Transformers 4 was greenlit. My Little Pony. My Little Pony's
it's going strong.
There's a big thing. There's a whole movement. You ever heard of bronies?
No. Jabronis?
No, not jabronis.
But bronies? No, what are they? Boy ponies?
Are bros. Guys,
the ponies.
Guys who have come out and say that they love My Little Pony. Bronies. I can't make this up.
Wow. That's great.
And there's
you go, guys. You go, bros.
Recently there was a convention and one of the voices of she played the voice of, the second person to play the voice of Harley Quinn. I know Kevin Smith, did a podcast with her. And she's like the voice of, like, Timmy from the Fairly Odd Parents and...
Okay, just that distinctive voice.
She's the everything. You go to her IMDb
she does the whole
page.
Bunch of stuff.
And it's like literally like 300-400 listings. Because she does tons of voices. Acting. But nowadays, like her quote unquote biggest role, the role that nowadays everyone knows her for, is for doing the voice of one of the My Little Ponies. And so
I haven't seen it.
I
don't have
There was recently like a My Little Pony convention.
Wow.
In New York City.
Good, it's coming back.
And hardcore representing was the bronies. These are guys in their mid to late 20s. I mean, generally. Even maybe guys like my age and 35 and younger, where I'm not going to be ashamed of this. I love My Little Pony.
Now, do they have kids? Or are they just...
I hope so.
Hardcore. This is the shit.
Well, see, like, even though I'm a big kid at heart and I like to watch cartoons, I mean, I catch stuff because I watch them with my daughter and my stepson.
What about Care Bears?
Care Bears, I think
those were a hit when I was a kid.
They were going to make a comeback.
But what happened?
I think they might have had, like, a special or two on the Hub.
Oh, okay.
The Hub network. The Smurfs.
Smurfs made a comeback. They had movies.
That movie,
Strawberry
as horrible as it was, made a profit.
Yeah. What about Strawberry Shortcake?
Strawberry Shortcake, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not right around the corner.
Yeah.
So all these kids...
She was a bitch. Rainbow Bright?
Rainbow Bright.
She was huge.
I think they're slowly...
revamping them and bringing them back.
And bringing them back.
Because they were the shit when we were kids.
All the people of our generation are going back and bringing their kids into it. So I think with Disney and their kind of like creative edge, the people who are getting in power now are people that remember this stuff from their childhood.
When they were kids, yeah.
So Disney, And I'm pretty sure they own more than...
Don't break what's, you know...
Disney owns, of course, all the Disney stuff. They purchased the rights to the Muppets a couple of years ago.
Right.
Marvel Comics. And now Lucasfilm.
Next, they're gonna be... You know what? Disney for president. Disney for president. Disney's gonna create peace among other countries. And Disney's God right now.
So right now...
They can write a check to anybody.
You could legitimately, without legal problems, have C-3PO, Iron Man, Goofy...
A pony.
I don't... Did they buy it? No, that's Hasbro.
Just wait
I think
for
Hasbro. I was a C-3PO, Iron Man...
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, and Animal from the Muppets. All together.
All in one house.
Not breaking one copyright rule.
They should do, like a real world house with...
Like, drawn together. If they wanted to, you can have Kermit meets Captain America, meets the Little Mermaid.
Piggy sleeping with, who should Miss Piggy sleep with? Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, exactly. It's mind-blowing.
Once she goes black, she doesn't go back.
Oh my
you
God.
go, Miss Piggy.
So yeah, everything that we loved as a child is
coming
being
back.
purchased by Disney.
And it's coming back better than ever, because they all got that technology and everything's better and bigger and better.
I mean,
I'll
we discussed
watch it.
what else is coming out in 2015?
Which one was it?
And we're back. Actually,
We're wrong on all accounts.
the answer was Ant-Man.
The correct answer is that. When's
So
the
in
next
2015,
Avenger coming out, too?
The next Avengers is coming out 2015.
Right, I knew. Okay.
So you're
That's
telling
gonna be
me
a big year.
the Avengers 2 and Star Wars Episode 7 the same summer.
And Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man, but I have, in my heart of hearts, I know Ant-Man is not going to be released till later on in the year.
Okay, you think it's going to be...
Ant-Man is going to be at the very earliest in August release.
Did they say who was playing Ant-Man?
Not
Has
yet.
any of
I don't
that been
think
released?
I think the only thing that's been released is the director.
Just the date, yeah, and when they're going to have
The
it.
date,
Or the year.
eventual time.
I was going to say, because I don't recall seeing a name.
Now both these movies, Star Wars, the original trilogy, and even the prequel trilogy, was always scheduled sometime in May.
That's usually when the big blockbuster movies come out.
It's usually the first
anticipated
big blockbuster.
Yeah.
And now Avengers,
what are they going to do?
Avengers has also been the
big one that comes out.
So, and I'm calling it now. And you could quote me. You could take this to the bank. It's going to be Star Wars first.
Okay.
Starting in May. I will put
Think the other one
money
be
on
Labor
it.
Day weekend?
Whichever Friday is closest to May 25th.
Okay.
2015. Whichever Friday is before or after, because all Star Wars movies are always like the end of May.
Right.
And I think the Avengers 2, 4th of July weekend.
That's another big weekend, yeah?
They are gonna fucking own the summer of 2015.
Get
It's
ready,
a lot
guys.
to look forward to,
A couple of years. We might not even make it. Aren't we supposed to die?
We're all supposed to blow up in a couple
of months.
But...
Well, technically like a month or so.
Yeah.
God bless America. Hopefully we can make it for the Avengers and Ant-Man
and Star Wars Episode 7. Well, speaking of 2012 events, on top of everything else, I heard the West Coast had like an earthquake.
They won like every other day. Was it a big one or?
I don't think it was a big one.
I think if it was a big one, it would have been more news on it.
Yeah.
So it was another little one?
Yeah, they had, their ground was shaking.
Yeah.
And of course,
it would scare. I don't know how they, I mean, they're obviously used to it, the people that live there. But if I was there, like, first time, I'd be like, shit myself. I'd be like, what the fuck was that?
Now, in 2010, Rochester had a mini quake.
I didn't feel it.
At the time, I was working in Radio Shack. And in the store, at that very moment, it was me, my manager, and this guy who was the maintenance man for a trailer park. Would be the best way to put it. Because,
Two trailer park girls. Okay, go on.
Yeah, as you go further east of Rochester, it gets a little more countrified.
Country.
So this store, the maintenance man for the trailer park was in the place, and the store started to shake. And stuff was, when they have stuff on the pegs, stuff was moving back and forth. And at first,
that would scare me.
We had both thought now, because it was part of a plaza, and trucks drove behind it all the time. We had all thought for a moment, oh, it was just a truck. But I mean, even then, the truck must have been like, we thought, it was like a truck maybe driving really close, or maybe a truck hit something. Like, and we all, somebody was talking, and we all just like stopped, and we're looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on?
It didn't last long, right?
Yeah, no. It was a split second.
Some people felt it, some didn't. I didn't feel it.
I felt it and saw the stuff in our store move.
Yeah, it depends on where you were, which is kind of weird. Because I didn't, a couple of my friends didn't, but then other friends that were in a different part of town or whatever did. It's like, really? How come I didn't feel it? Something wrong with me?
So instantly, the maintenance guy started getting phone calls.
Okay.
Those people in the trailer park wanted him to come and disconnect their gas line and all this other stuff. So, apparently we weren't the only ones that felt it, because literally a minute or two later, people calling up
Yeah, there was a good number of people that, because of course, people, put on sale. A good number of people felt it, and I was like, we get one. I can't even experience it with everyone. I don't even remember what I was doing. I was probably in bed sleeping or something.
Yeah, but I tell you what, they could keep that shit, because
I don't like that. I'm not into that. That and tornadoes.
Shaking. That's it.
Because those tornadoes, when they get big and you don't know, they go different directions last second. Oh, I'm not down with that shit.
And those dummies on TV, the chasers, the tornado chasers.
And they have this footage, and the last one, I feel, it's always in the Midwest. There was that huge one, or the middle of the world. I don't know where. It's usually in Kansas or something. Mm-hmm. It was huge, two combined, and this guy's so close with the camera. I'm like, you gotta if your car's not fast enough, oh my god. I don't know how they do it, why they do it, but it's not for me. Twister scarred me.
It was a cross promotion. It was, the Mythbusters.
Oh, okay.
They were, because did the Mythbusters change stations or something like that? Because I think they were on the Discovery Channel.
Let's see what they're on now. What are they
not on the Discovery
or
Channel anymore. And the premiere of this show, which I believe was called Tornado Chasers, they did a Mythbusters episode all dedicated to tornado myths, and then right after it was the premiere pilot episode of Tornado Chasers, and these guys had this truck.
Right, they have
that had
everything.
These things that came off the ends of the bottom of the truck, so wind doesn't sweep under it and tip them over. It was weighted. They even had these things that dug into the ground, pneumatic things that shoved spikes into the ground so they couldn't move.
Right, they're grounded.
And they had plating on all the windows.
It's so high. It's so crazy to think, because I don't know what to do, but these people have been doing this for so long that they know what stuff to put on their Terminator mobile, and it just says Discovery Channel. I don't know if they changed.
Okay, for some reason I thought they might have changed stations. So, and part of that episode of the Mythbusters was they were trying to blow up the van. They were trying to do what they could to see if the van would withstand tornado speeds of 120 miles per hour, and they were winging things at it and debris and all this other stuff. They were trying to pierce the panels on it. It was a great episode. And of course, Tornado Chasers went off the air. But quite frankly, I think it's one of those things where thank goodness they went off the air, because I think it'd be people imitating, people not that bright, people who aren't as well equipped or trained.
Whatever you see, what is it? Do not imitate any, whatever that warning
don't
is.
Try this at home, people.
And these people with their little their phone cameras.
Their little,
I don't play that game, because those things are fast, and it just sucks you up.
You don't fuck with Mother Nature.
And like we said, bitch hasn't been laid in ever, and she's menopausal right now. She is pissed. She is angry. Good news is, Jersey Shore store, the Shore store t-shirt shop, did get damaged, but it's still standing.
Yeah, the Jersey Shore.
And the house, too. Just so everyone knows. Because I know everybody was really worried about that.
Yeah. Of all the things...
I know, really, you could have gotten rid of that
Stephen Colbert had a joke about that. He goes, is it Jon Stewart, where they said, all this is proof that there is no God.
Basically.
Now, and as I've mentioned in pretty much every goddamn episode, I'm from Lower East Side Manhattan.
You are?
So...
Chris, that is news to me.
And I've been a little freaking out because my mom...
That got real ravaged.
My mom is in Zone A. Mm-hmm. Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who I can't stand, And quite frankly, the only reason things are getting done are because other people are doing their job. I'm not giving Michael Bloomberg a fucking drop of credit.
Did you hear when he had to speak Spanish?
Oh, yeah. And now, I was raised in a Puerto Rican household. My grandparents pretty much spoke Spanish to me all the time. Him speaking Spanish was painful. It hurt my ears.
I don't speak Spanish. I mean, I didn't take it in high school or anything like that. Some people did. But I think I could have done a better job.
Yeah, he's, for a guy who was, before he became the mayor, was a great businessman.
Right, you meet all these people, you'd think you would.
Yeah. And so, he's
It was painful for me to watch. I was like, I thought I could at least pronounce some of those words a little bit better.
Yeah, it was, Michael Bloomberg is just, like what? You couldn't find a Puerto Rican in New York City?
Right, like somebody else, they're all in hiding, I don't know what happened.
Throw a rock, you'll find a Puerto Rican. Someone will translate it for you.
A friend of mine I went to college with, he now lives, actually my sister's old apartment too as well, they thankfully moved. Lived in Rockaway Beach where there was the fires.
Oh yeah, the huge fires.
Yeah, he texted me, he's like, thousands of people without clothes because their house just burned up. So all they have is everything that they have.
You're out in the freezing rain.
And and what you
have
at
night.
But thankfully he
with no supplies.
His was down the street, like farther down, so it didn't get. All that really his house was damaged was the basement, which is where his room is, of course, and his car. So but other than that, the house is fine. But the other ones are just donezo. And what's ironic is that a lot of the people that live there, even his dad, is a firefighter.
Oh yeah,
that kind of sucks. Like, oh, my house burned up.
And yeah, they just can't get there.
Yeah, it's like it's totally flooded. What do you?
My father.
It's gotta suck to be helpless, right? Watching your house because a lot of them, what they do is, the family. A lot of them are firefighters there, and so a lot of them, all the kids and the family all gets evacuated. But the dads who are firefighters stay. They all stay and drink at one of the houses. So I'm sure a lot of them were there just like, fuck.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm watching my house burn up. Oh. And there's nothing I can do. Yeah, so that's just gotta be. So if anybody can donate, there's
yeah, you can contact the Red Cross.
Yeah, they're doing donations and all that, and it's a great community there. I've been there. They always have parades for everything.
Rockaway Beach.
They celebrate everything that they can, and they're a great tight knit community. So donate if you can.
Yeah, I
don't say hung out, but a lot of them
Rockaway Beach, but I'm familiar. I have friends in that area.
Yeah. So a lot of them lost their homes, but I haven't heard of like anybody, any terrible. Everybody seems to be safe.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, for a place as densely populated as
I think everybody just got out
and in surrounding areas in Jersey, there's basically, let's be real here. Jersey is a suburb of Manhattan. I'm sorry to put it that way.
Sorry, Manhattanites.
I lived in East Orange myself, so
that's true.
And I lived there because it was a drive into Manhattan. It was cheaper than living in New York.
Yeah, it's right there.
So
you literally can see Jersey City when you're on the west side there. I mean,
so for a place that's so densely populated between Jersey and Manhattan and the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, there were surprisingly few deaths.
Yeah,
tons of damage.
Right. But got everybody out and
there was did you see the crane? There was a crane on top
of
a construction building.
Yeah, they didn't secure it properly. Like, really?
And you just see the thing
just dangling.
Bend. They said the wind up at that height.
And that, started early. Like, that was not even at the height of the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just hanging there over everyone.
And they said the winds up there were like 90 miles per hour.
That's what I want.
And you see steel bending.
Like, looking you at the face.
Like a melting candle.
Yeah.
New Yorkers, man, we fucking, and I still say we because I'm a New Yorker at heart, and that's where I was born and raised. You can't rattle us, man. You try to fucking blow us up, we're still here. Mother Nature comes as the biggest storm in the history of the East Coast, and really, I know, like I said, damage. People's lives are like from people who lost their houses and stuff like that. But shit, you woke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
millions
few
of
deaths.
people opened their eyes this morning.
And some of the deaths were like unfortunate things, like they were driving in like a house, a tree like landed.
Yeah,
on.
Guy. The first death was a guy in Queens who got hit by a tree branch. Yeah.
So unfortunately, things like that, which you don't ever wish upon anybody, but it seems that everybody did what they had to.
Got out, densely populated.
Got out in time, and So that's huge.
Thank goodness there hasn't been...
I'm concerned with... Because they keep showing there's so much flooding in the subway. Where are the rats? Where are those
rats are probably having a fucking field day.
Where are those disgusting rodents?
As the water flushes things out, the rats are probably eating whatever's there. And, rats like cold, dark, wet places, so the rats are probably having a field day.
Oh, God.
I could imagine, like rats leaving a sinking ship.
How they all
imagine
that trail.
Seeing rats running out of a train station.
It's so gross because they're
the
so
water's
freaking
coming.
gross. They're like,
oh my God.
That's when you just gotta follow the rat. Like, you're like, all right, you guys lead me to safety.
And
oh my God.
So my mother lives in what has been known as Zone A.
Yeah.
Zone A is the evacuation point. Mayor Bloomberg pretty much ordered an evacuation, but like New Yorkers being New Yorkers,
I'm staying here.
Said, fuck it. I'm not going anywhere.
But she got lucky, though. So nothing...
Well, nothing happened. I got a hold of my mom. She had actually figured out how to work her AARP cell phone.
Girl.
And so...
Too funny.
She called me up, and she let me know she's safe. She's saying that, the wind is blowing.
Yeah.
Now, my mother lives a couple of stories up.
Right.
And the trees by the building these are big fucking trees. The wind was pushing them so hard, branches were hitting her window.
Yeah.
Not to the point where they would break, but it's scary to have a fucking tree hit your window. Mm-hmm. It's scary enough as it is, dark and cold and wet and rainy. But my mother's been without electricity since Sunday.
When did it happen? Yeah. Sunday, Monday, or...
And so, but if I'm not mistaken, now there was Con Edison, which is on the east side on 14th Street, which is pretty much like one of the main...
Which is the electric and everything.
Yeah, Con Edison, which after 9/11, before you could just drive by it, after 9/11, it's walled up. You cannot get a vehicle in that area.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hello, listeners. This is Chris from Two Strangers, One Podcast. And I'd like to announce that we are now part of Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment. LIVINLAME Podcast Entertainment. Along with Two Strangers, One Podcast, there are a bunch of brand new shows to choose from. There's The Breakdown with Filthy Phil, Shane O'Mac, and Cord bringing you the latest news in the music world. Join Joe and Carrie Fox in the Fox Den for your fix of astrology, numerology, and nature. Get your movie and television news with the Real Chat Podcast. And the big daddy that started it all, Livin' Lame. So check out the Facebook for information on new episodes and updates at www.facebook.com/Livin' Lame Podcast Entertainment.
Fallback Comedy Fest. Live, improv, stand-up, sketch, and music. All shows at the Space, 1115 East Main Street in the Hungerford Building. Tonight at 7 p.m., stand-up comedy from the area's best, headlined by Jamie Lissow. Then stick around for some hilarity with the Search Engine Improv Harold teams. So don't forget to set your clocks back and don't miss the best comedy fest in the New York West. Fallback Comedy Fest is sponsored by Bud Light. Here we go. For complete schedule and tickets, visit fallbackcomedyfest.com.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. The pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
We now return to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
And we're back. Couple things in that break. Sorry about the break in the show, but a couple of things. We are part of the Livin' Lame podcast entertainment network. Check out Facebook.com/livinlame, LIVINLAME, Podcast Entertainment. Click and hit. Anyone who's listened to the show in the past, it's a well-made device. Check it out. And the Fallback Comedy Festival, where people up here in Rochester, it's pretty much this whole weekend. We're recording this on November 1st. We're releasing it on November 1st. The Fallback Comedy Festival, which is on here in Rochester, it's basically where Goodman Street meets Main Street. Just $5 for the show. It's cheaper than a movie and a hell of a lot more entertaining. The guy who runs it, his name is Law, like Law
and Order,
like Law and Order. Actually, when I was in improv, he was one of my teachers. I was at another improv place, but he was so awesome, they brought him to come in and to be an improv teacher.
Yeah.
Great fucking guy. And let me tell you, seeing him on stage, and
he knows what improv's all about.
He's done work on Broadway. He's a New York City boy like me.
Right.
And, he's been on Broadway. He's done professional voice work. He's done professional acting. And his improv skills are so freaking hilarious. We were invited to host one of the shows. I don't think it's happening, only because our schedules are so crazy. But definitely check out the Fallback Comedy Festival. Even if you're not even Rochester, if you're in Syracuse, you're in Buffalo, come on down. It'll be worth the trip. Come down. Get a garbage plate, as they call them here in Rochester. We're famous for our garbage plates.
Of course, we're famous for something called garbage.
And go see the Fallback Comedy Festival because, like I said, just seeing Law on stage, and there's going to be guys there, people who are writers for The Daily Show, for Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Trust me, I want to go. The only reason I can't is because I need to get myself a babysitter. But who knows? You may run into me. Of course, if I do go, I'll probably be blatantly wearing my Two Strangers One podcast shirt.
Attaboy.
So
I want the billboard.
Give me a high five, and I don't know.
Girl, give him a kiss.
Check them out. It's called The Space. It's two major. You can't get any more two major intersections in Rochester than
it's easy to
Main
find.
and Goodman, and it's a place called The Space. It's definitely
very easy to find.
It's worth every penny, people. Check it out. It's really funny.
So as of today, does your mom have? As of today, as in
so
Thursday,
as of
1st,
today,
does
November
she have power?
1st, my mother does not have electricity. Now,
Are they just
luckily,
not turning it on, or because how sometimes they'll just turn off like water and electricity for.
I think right now, even though there's crazy footage of the Con Edison on 14th Street, which is what I was talking about right before we got interrupted. The Con Edison, the transformer exploding,
right,
and that's pretty much all downtown
huge.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
But I think what they're doing is they're purposely not turning it back
that's
on.
What I figure.
Because all the water that's in the subways...
Don't need any other issue going on.
Yeah, that's the only need is people getting electrocuted also.
So I guess I've read that they got some subways up and running, but, like limited transportation.
Yeah, basically any subway that doesn't go through Lower Manhattan.
Yeah.
Or they'll reroute it where it'll leave Midtown Manhattan and then start working up again in Brooklyn.
Yeah. So they got some normalcy back, but it's gonna... My guess is it'll probably be a month till everything's back.
Yeah, because
back to north.
And then
they gotta pump out a lot of water.
And where do you pump the water out to?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where's it gonna go? In the gutter.
Right.
It's the same fucking.
So
deal.
It's just a whole big circle of life. Now I'm doing your Now I'm wondering about. Because they do have so much construction going on down in Lower Manhattan. I feel the whole Liberty. What are they calling it? The 9/11 site. What are they call it? The Liberty Tower.
Yeah, the Liberty Tower.
And the memorial, I feel, isn't done. The memorial is just kind of one big waterfall hole. Is that just now filled?
Well, I believe they were. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the numbers were. I don't know if it was 9 inches. I think Lower Manhattan got 9 inches of water. Now, mind you, that's after the water filled the subway.
Right.
And sewers.
And now it's up.
And then went up to 9 inches. Now, especially on the west side where the World Trade Center is, because I don't know if people, especially people outside of New York City know this, but the whole west side, lower west side, especially where the World Trade Center was, that's built on a landfill.
Yeah.
That's all artificial, place
Ground,
that
I
was
guess.
built up. Yeah,
I guess you could say, I don't know.
Dirt. It's garbage.
I
It's
haven't heard anything, speaking of landfills, I haven't heard anything about Staten Island.
Yeah, well, they closed down their landfill.
Oh, okay. Like, nothing's really happened there?
To the best of my knowledge, nothing's going on there.
Long Island, I heard, got ravaged. Not like the whole lot, but
and
Long
Island,
they're surrounded
you got
by
this thing protruding in the water.
Yeah, so that's gonna get ravaged.
They always got when the rain came. Long Island always gets hit hard.
Yeah.
A lot harder than Manhattan because
surrounded
you're sticking out
by
in
water,
the ocean.
yeah.
You're gonna get
and you're this thin little thing.
And so, like my mother, she's without electricity. At least like that very first day, my mom's neighbor. I asked her about the water, where my mother said that the water was like running down the street. Mm-hmm. Like if you stood still, you'd feel the water. Like if you were barefoot standing on the street, you would feel water running across your toes.
Ew.
You know,
Yeah.
and she likes to walk her stupid dog. So I don't know what I'm sorry, I say stupid. My mom's dog.
Stupid
my
dog.
mom's
God
dog
forbid
is
the
this
dog gotta walk.
He's a little punk.
That's her little
small
baby.
dog.
You're so jealous.
He
You're
irritates
so
me.
jealous.
So
did you see they had photos of like people, volunteers like rescuing the dogs off the boats? It was cute. The dogs are just like sitting there like on like a raft. Like, so cute looking. They're like, oh, so that's cute. The animals were saved as well.
I mean, I don't know. So the only thing, honestly, now my mom is old school, born and raised in Puerto Rico. Water and electricity, you get back down to that, basic, now of course you definitely need water.
Yeah.
So what they've done in my mother's neighborhood is they've opened up the fire hydrants and people get water. Now of course my mother's no spring chicken, but luckily my uncle's there helping her out and the neighbors, everyone's kind of
working together,
chipping in.
Yeah, I think the main, I don't know about your mom's place, but I've just heard people in lower Manhattan there, the main thing is like just the, like of places is like the main floor is just flooded.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to get that out, and so
honestly,
at least it's
in
not
my
like,
opinion, what they need in lower Manhattan, and this doesn't sound, they need ice. They need ice trucks. They need to like bring back like old school ice blocks or something, because people have refrigerators filled with food that is now, you can't go 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're lucky enough where your stuff will stay cool for like maybe a day or 2 days.
But it's gonna go bad.
People need, they need ice. They need ice. And even for the food that, all the grocery stores now, talking
those
about
are probably
horrible
gross
coincidence,
now, yeah.
there was a place by my mom, just got bought out by Trump's people. They're putting fucking condominiums on there. Now, what was a local, not a local, it is a brand, it is a popular
brand
store,
grocery store.
But what happens is now they're shutting it down and putting a fucking Whole Foods there. Now everybody who lives in that neighborhood, even though downtown Manhattan is like this coveted area, people like my mom, they're working class.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they gonna do with the Whole Foods?
Yeah.
It's
out of place. Now here in Rochester, I live with my parents, woo-woo! They live on Lake Ontario here. So that was Rochester's big concern is the lake. Okay.
Is the lake gonna flood or something like that?
Usually we totally would. This year for, I don't know what reason, between us and Canada, they monitor they monitor the level of water. So I don't know for this year, whatever reason why it was the way it was, but it was really shallow. So thankfully it was.
So we were lucky that it was.
Yeah, it was like extremely shallow because usually, just even in the winter when or even if like a bad windstorm comes, it'll smack our house like the way it'll hit the break wall, hit our house. So if it was just how it usually is, because usually it is really high, we could have been really screwed. But for whatever reason this summer it was really shallow, so it wasn't a concern. But I'm watching the news the day of the hurricane coming, and it's showing, the news people out there at the Jersey Shore, like, being ravaged, winds crazy, and then it's showing lower Manhattan, the news people, all the wind, and then it goes to this guy on the pier on Lake Ontario, and he's just standing there, and the waves aren't even hitting him. I'm like, we look like such pussies, like, people people are, like, filling sandbags, like, taking their time, like, it was so shallow, like, the waves broke like way out there, so it was like, it's never gonna reach us. So they called my parents. I was actually at my friend's house. They called my parents probably around 9:30 p.m. whatever message, like, your street needs to evacuate. My dad's like, fuck that. My dad's such a stubborn man when it comes to this.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. I have to get up in the morning. There's no way
Gotta
that...
get up in the morning.
I gotta work in the morning. Like, Dad, really? Let's just take in consideration. And he's like, there's no way that's gonna come hit us. And I'm looking at the wall, I was like, there really isn't.
Well, the same way they wanted to evacuate Lower Manhattan.
Right.
And it's like, my mom said, fuck that.
Yeah. So he goes up to bed, probably around 10. I come home, I'm like, so we're not leaving? My mom's like, my mom wanted to leave. She's like, they're telling us to leave, like, all nervous. Mascara under her eyes because she was rubbing her out and whatever. I'm like, Ma, clean up. Like, you just look like you were out in the weather.
Now, like, that's a lake. It's not the ocean.
Yeah, it's
You'll see the problem coming.
Right.
Before it's time to go. Now, if you're off by the shore, that's another story.
Right. So I'm driving home from my friends. It's the only thing that's going on. It wasn't even raining. It was just real windy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's real windy. No trees are falling or anything like that. Just branches everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I get home. I'm like, so we're not leaving? And I was like, no. So I'm on the computer doing my own thing. It was probably midnight now at this point. I see like lights. Like we still had power. Mm-hmm. I don't know how our street never went out of power because like people in the suburbs.
Yeah, other parts in this area are I think still without power.
Like my friend went up, like they lost power. We're like, we're on the lake and we still have power. We're supposed to be like the most susceptible to all this. So suddenly I see like lights off. I'm like, it's the fire department and the sheriff. Uh-huh. I am now in my pajamas. Uh-huh. I'm comfortable, no bra on. Gotta go answer. No, I'm like, hi. They're like, it's mandatory, you have to evacuate. We're like, ugh. My mom's now behind me. She's like, I knew it, whatever. Uh-huh. Goes wake up my dad. My dad's like, we don't really have to go. Like, we're not gonna be arrested. My mom convinces him, we go up the street to where my grandmother lives. Mm-hmm. I have my dog, my brother's cat. We look like such idiots. So, now I'm like, none of these other neighbors are leaving. You still see their car. Like, I'm like, this is stupid.
They just don't want a lawsuit.
Right. So, because they're telling us that this is just the beginning of the storm, it's going to get worse, and these waves are going to get bigger. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I'm with my dad on this because he was pissed the whole time. He did not want to leave. He's like, there's no way it's going to hit us, blah, blah, blah. So, the next morning we come back, no trees down. Our house looks like nothing happened. We had like chairs out front by the water. Those didn't even, like they moved, but nothing. Mm-hmm. Water not even up to us. We now have actually a beach. It's even shallower. There's like sand. We're like, now we have a beach. No damage whatsoever. No power lines on. My dad's like, I had to fucking get up. So mad. He's like, I had to get up.
You don't mess with a man's sleep.
Yeah, he was like, and he's still talking about the other day. He's like, and we had to leave. I'm like, oh, we're never gonna hear the freaking end of this. I was like, Dad, they came to the door. He's like, they went to everybody's door. We were the only ones that left. Like, so pissed. Insane. But I don't know how, Lake Ontario, very fortunate that it was very shallow this summer.
Yeah. Now,
if it was how it usually is.
You didn't have any damage. I had damage to my house.
Like, my friends lost power that, like, we should have. Like, we should have had, and we have trees all around us, too. Mm-hmm. Like, one neighbor's tree fell, like, it uprooted, but it, like, landed. They had a big yard, so it, like, landed in their yard, thankfully, not the house.
Yeah,
So we got real lucky.
Where I usually park my car, I didn't park it there because
a tree went down.
Had a tree went down. I generally park close to a tree, and I'm like, I knew shit was gonna pop off, so I said,
But you guys got a lot of barriers on this street too. You know, it's not just like tree. Like you guys have like a lot of neighborhoods. So do you guys have a lot of trees that fall down
in this area? No, but surprisingly enough, what they call it, the downspout, like the gutters. Mm-hmm. There's the gutters on the edge of the roof, and then the thing that actually brings it down.
Yeah.
Is that called a downspout, or
I just always called it a funnel. I don't even think that's the right
part
term.
of the gutter that brings
downspout
from the edge of the roof to the side of the house. Yeah. Mine got ripped off.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on a lot of houses where just like their gutters too.
Our downspout. What else is just? Luckily, it was just a downspout, and because I don't know if you want to call it a screen door or not.
It's a screen, yeah.
Because when we first moved in here, it was 2 panes of glass.
Okay, now it's a screen.
When we had Hurricane Ike a while back, the wind flung open, smashed it.
And now it's screen.
And now it's Hurricane Sandy.
Bad luck.
We lost the other panel.
The screen, yeah.
So, today's the first. My landlord is coming by later. So
that door is bad luck. Out of all the things, it's so random, like that door.
And what had happened is the door is swinging back and forth with the wind. And now, we have neighbors and the banging, and I'm like, they're gonna hate us. They probably hate us already as it is because, we make noise.
I think that's what they're worried about in the storm is your door. bang.
But it was
that
banging,
annoying sound, yeah.
Because usually I only hear that bang when people are coming in and out.
Yeah. Now it's just constant.
So it's just bang, bang. And this is in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So it was getting on my nerves. So I actually secured the latch on it. But usually
I
usually don't secure the latch because there's no wind. There's no reason for it. So I secured the latch. It stopped making noise, and then I hear a bang, and then and I said, "Motherfucker!" So I went to the door, and yeah, exactly. Like when it was swaying back and forth,
it was doing just fine.
It was doing just fine. I think maybe me restricting it, and you finally held it back and said, "Fuck you,
bam, fuck you, Chris."
And
the stores here before it hit ran out of water.
Oh, God.
People were sending me photos. The big store here is Wegmans. Uh-huh. People were sending photos of, the empty shelves. I'm like, oh, this is like Y2K all over again when people stocked up on, Spam and water. But thankfully, not much damage in Rochester.
Rochester.
Big thing was power outages.
Yeah, Rochester, for thank goodness, or knock on wood or whatever. Knock on my daughter's crib. We didn't have much damage up here, but like I said, my mom's neighborhood's still out of whack. Now, my dad is a member of this thing called the Knights of Columbus, and it's in Brooklyn, and they have a hall, Knights of Columbus Hall. A lot of places, a lot of people know the Knights of Columbus because they usually rent out their halls. That's how they kind of make money to maintain the place, and it's by the water, and the water was so high, a boat crashed into the side of the Knights of Columbus.
You just see all these boats, on people's lawns.
Yeah.
Did it ruin the hall? Like a boat crashing into a building?
I think it went through the wall or something like that.
God.
My dad goes, because I didn't, my father, because of course I'm concerned about everything, and now my mom, who's not a tech person, figured out how to use her phone to call me.
AARP phone.
My dad's a lot more tech savvy. So, I'm texting, are you okay? Is everything right? You still got power?
There's a boat in the hall.
He goes, now mind you, they were supposed to have an event there the other night, but the weather came and they canceled it.
Did they get back their deposit?
So, they own the place. So, and my father goes, there is a pleasure boat, because, Brooklyn, that side of Brooklyn is all known for their bays.
Yeah.
There's this bay and that bay and
Jersey
Bay.
Shore over there too. There's all these boats everywhere.
Yeah, if you go, and
Long
right
Island.
off the water is generally, people a little more well-to-do.
Yeah.
And, people who got boats, who take the boat out twice a year, 3 times a year, and the rest of the time they're paying for this. And those fucking boats got picked up and flung.
They were moved, yeah.
So my father goes, there's a pleasure boat. Where the dance floor used to be.
I would love it if Diddy's yacht pulled up on my line and be like, hey! I'd live on it. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go hang out in the yacht.
There were these people I saw on TV. Okay, are you familiar at all with the movie Mutiny on the Bounty?
No.
Okay, well, it is a real event where it was called Mutiny on the Bounty, where these guys revolted against the captain or whatever.
Like a mutiny.
Yeah, a mutiny.
Okay.
So there was a movie made in the 70s, which maybe we bring it back full circle. I think Gene Hackman was in, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice. We always know how to bring it back full circle.
I think so.
Let's see. I'll look into it.
So this boat was made for the movie. Now it's a full-fledged boat.
Yeah.
These dummies, these rich dummies who owned the boat, went out a couple days ago.
Before the storm?
I want to say even Saturday, right when it was coming.
Right.
They're on the boat, and then Coast Guard had to go and save their asses. And now I think the boat's destroyed.
Probably.
So he got
idiot.
A thing that's part of movie history, because Mutiny on the Bounty.
It's a huge sea boat, like a Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's actually, and it was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I did see that on Yahoo. Pirates of the Caribbean boat. I think
it was the original. It was originally a prop.
Marlon Brando.
Oh, it's Marlon Brando. Okay, I'm sorry. It was no Gene Hackman? Okay.
I didn't see him.
Okay. But Marlon Brando, yeah. It is. I'm sorry.
I did see that in one of the,
and then they used
Pirates
it in
of the
Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, these rich dummies.
Boat.
Now,
a hurricane's coming.
If you own...
We knew, weeks in advance.
If you own a watercraft, a lot of these guys, you get into nautical and you get, and I'm pretty sure they have that kind of money to have the nice equipment that tells you shit's happening.
Yeah.
So they're either...
Why did they take it out? Just for fun?
It was a pleasure cruise. What
asses?
You know, unless you're out on the boat because you're supporting your family with like, you know, you're a fisherman or something like that.
Right.
Like if I said, if it was a working guy,
no, you're
who
just
got
out
caught
there
up there
for fun.
and because times are rough and you need to be out there. No, these are people.
You're out for fun
out there
at the end of October.
It's the sun and fun.
And now they ruined it.
Now the Coast Guard had to come and save their dumbasses.
There was also a photo. I think it was Jersey. It was just like they called it like the Lost and Found. It's just a shitload of boats, just all in like this. Like boats are so expensive.
Yeah, boats are expensive. Yeah, exactly.
And like that's probably like your baby too. Like you know, like you people, invest in a boat. This is your boat.
I'm not glad every boat got smashed, but you know, some of these people, you know, they don't know what they have, and then boom. Yeah. But it's
just this whole like circle of just they're all in one pile. Like, okay, find your boat. If it's here, take it.
And a side of a building fell off in Manhattan.
Yeah,
just the whole side.
But like none of it was like an apartment building, right?
Yeah, it was an apartment building
because you could see like the beds. I was like, could you?
Imagine
it was wrong. I was watching the news with my mom. I was like, could you imagine having sex and suddenly the side just comes off?
Rock my world, baby.
Yeah, like it's just the side came off. Like nothing was ruined inside. I'm like, how? What was up with the side?
And let me tell you, when I lived in Brooklyn, we had stress fractures.
Yeah.
On the coincidentally enough, the outside what would have been the front of the building.
Okay.
Because it was throughout my whole apartment. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming if it's through my apartment, it's through my neighbor's downstairs apartment.
Oh yeah,
and, you know, I'm pretty sure it's
domino effect.
Yeah, it's not just my apartment.
Just you.
and I'm on the top at the time. I was on the top floor, so it had to. That means I'm pretty sure there's damage from the base, you know, from the first floor all the way up to us. So, you know, I lived in a place where something like that could have fucking happened. And I have friends in Brooklyn who work in Manhattan, and now walking into Manhattan, these people actually have to walk.
Yeah.
Generally,
there's a lot of walking.
You know, they'll take a cab to about
cab, I guess,
Bridge.
Is like gridlocked, or not gridlocked, but
the
hours.
Traffic in
to get
Brooklyn,
from like 10 blocks.
Traffic in Manhattan is a fucking nightmare.
Somebody was saying on the news, I feel like it was like Dennis Miller randomly. Mm-hmm. He was saying like he had to go 10 blocks and, you know, so he took a cab and then he's like, fuck it. Because it was like 2 hours. I don't know how long he waited, but it would have been like 2 hours. And he's like, I'm going to walk these 10 blocks.
So I have friends who have to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge and then just start walking up north. Now, everything from 39th Street down is fucked up.
Yeah.
So you have to like basically walk from Brooklyn Bridge to 39th Street, which is
get your galoshes
basically 2.5 miles, along with thousands of other people who are also walking, looking for a cab.
Right.
You know, it's
you're lucky to get a cab.
Yeah, it just
reminds me of like obesity. This is it. We're getting in shape, New York.
You know, the Brooklyn Bridge, it just brings me back to 9/11 where people were leaving on the Brooklyn Bridge.
See ya.
Now every morning you have this mass exodus going into Manhattan, and then come quitting time, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all these people going back.
At least you're not like the only one. It's like a group of
I guess there's, you know, New York, you know, there is that camaraderie and stuff. And I guess, you know, misery loves company. If you're suffering, as long as everyone else around you is suffering.
Yeah, as long as everybody else is good.
And so
meet somebody new every day.
Yeah, so I got friends that are crossing the bridge every day. And you know, when you're on the bridge, it's fucking cold. It's cold enough as it is.
I was gonna say, it's not even like summer where it's hot. Like you're...
In the summertime, it's a pleasure to cross the bridge.
Yeah, it's a nice little breeze. And
you know, it's a touristy thing to do, go across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Now you want to see angry New Yorkers. This is it. We're even more pissed. Sight.
But, you know, just surprisingly enough, you know, and it just, you know, and not to bring up like things like Katrina, but you know, Katrina, so many fucking people died and there was so much neglect and, you know, FEMA didn't act in time and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure Manhattan is probably 10 times the population of like New Orleans. And, you know, they were surprisingly
So I think it went well. So, I mean, went as well as what it could for the situation.
You know, there's cars, I mean, property damage-wise, it's devastating.
Right.
It's devastating.
Underground,
but for lives,
garage, for lives, and
did you see the garages?
Oh,
where the cars are like floating out because there's
just filled.
And you know, the lower west side is a very well-to-do area. Mm-hmm. You know, these are nice cars. I tell you, all the money in the world don't mean shit.
Yeah, at least it
Mother Nature wants your ass.
Yeah, Mother Nature's pissed. at least it will maybe humble some people.
Yeah.
Like, at least you have your life. It could be worse.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. You know, who gives a fuck about your fucking Lexus?
Yeah. See ya.
Whatever. It just, you know, here I am bitching that we didn't get a chance to be on a podcast, and, you know, these people really living, really,
Are trying to
with,
live, Chris.
you know, my own mother. And I asked her if she wanted me to come down, because the original plan was we were going to go to my mom's house, and then from there,
Go to Red Bank.
Red Bank. And I'm like, you know, Mom, do you want me to, and, you know, I was going to come down with my daughter. My mom's like, no, you know, this is no place for a baby. There's no water. There's no electricity.
Yeah.
You know, so I do feel a bit helpless, like, there's nothing I can do, but my mom wants to stand her ground. You know, my father's lucky enough that he has power and water. My mom has her uncle there taking care of her. I do feel like
helpless.
I want to do
Yeah,
something. But like, my mom is like hardcore.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, my mother grew up in like the poorest part of Puerto Rico. Like, you know, it's not going to phase her.
worse.
Being without water and electricity is the fucking way of the world. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I do feel helpless. But,
Right.
you know, and
What are
like
you gonna do?
I said, I mean, not that anything we say on the show is really going to make an impact, but you know what they need down there? I know when people donate money, they need fucking ice. You know what I'm saying? Or they need food, because
They need electricity.
like my mom, I mean, a person like my mom's house is like a fucking, you know, it's the place I'm going to go if there's a zombie apocalypse, because my mother has
She had
food supplies.
everything, yeah.
Whenever there's anything on sale that is a non-perishable item, like cereal or cans of beans and stuff like that, my mom buys. So my old bedroom has become a storage room. So I'm not worried at all about my mom going hungry. But, you know, it's the stuff that's in her fridge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, anything in the fridge, well, like meal-wise, you know, she couldn't cook the steak anyway because there's no electricity for the oven, and you're not going to fuck around and start using, you know, the gas and everything like that. And here's the funny thing is that my mom, the funny thing is, take a shot.
It.
My mother is insisting on using her flashlight. Now you have to understand, and this is something, I guess, if we finally do make it down to Red Bank and you come to my mother's house, my mother has an inordinate amount of decorative candles. You know, my mom is a woman. There are these there are candles there for no fucking reason other than to sit there and be decorative. So I go, Mom, you got plenty, because my mom's like, oh, I was looking for the flashlight and I couldn't find it. Then your uncle brought me some batteries, and I said, Mom, use any of the 50 fucking candles that are sitting in the living room. And that's not my mom is, my mom is the neatest hoarder. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom's house is immaculate. You can eat off the ground. But like I said, my old bedroom's like a storage space, and like my mom has the tea candles.
Yeah.
She gets those because she likes to, you know, those she lights up and stuff like that, but, you know, decorative candles. I'm like, Mom, light a candle. Oh, but the dog may knock it over or set the building on fire.
You don't need another fire.
Once again, her stupid fucking dog.
Here we go. It all comes back to that.
So, you know, my mom is insisting on using her flashlight when she has a billion fucking candles in the house. Just real quick, I want to read this thing. It's from a friend of mine on Facebook. Her name is Denise. I won't use her last name, Denise A. And so I think she catches the best vibe on this. She goes, okay, day 4 and counting. I have never experienced darkness like I have last night in Stuytown. Now, Stuytown is a abbreviated name for Stuyvesant Town, which is that's right by where the generator blew up off of 14th Street in the east side. Without a flashlight, you cannot see your hands in front of you, and it was cold. It does not seem to be getting a lot of attention in the news other than the lights out below 34th Street. But it's so much more than that. Food beginning to spoil, seniors stuck in high floors without elevators. Most buildings have no water. You cannot cross streets as there are no traffic lights. No places to charge cell phones unless you're at your office during the day, and that's if your office is above 34th Street. No cell service in most spots, unless you stand in front of a Starbucks with 1,000 other people. Bellevue was being evacuated. Now Bellevue,
big hospital.
Bellevue is, just because they got a lot of practice, is like one of the most, if you get shot,
you're going to Bellevue.
If you get beat up, Bellevue was the place to go because they've dealt with so many people getting shot. their trauma
specialty.
center is number one, and only because they get tons of practice at it. New York City with
I guess when you're always practicing, you tend to hone in your craft.
Yeah. And, Bellevue is notoriously known for its, mental unit,
Oh, yeah. It's where a lot of, you'll hear a lot of famous people go there for a little crazy session.
Yeah. Bellevue being evacuated, they suspended bus service below 23rd Street without warning, and people got stranded walking home, and they did not take a flashlight with them. Well, you can imagine, hoping we'd get power over the weekend. So now they're even suspending for the people who were walking and stuff like that, and they had bus service downtown Manhattan.
Now
they would just randomly shut off the bus service. So there are people waiting at the bus stop. Mm-hmm. The bus ain't coming.
But nobody's saying anything.
So, I didn't get permission from Denise to read this, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind. But yeah, that's from the front lines.
Yeah.
And she grew up she grew up across the street from me, friend of the family. And so, I do feel bad for people who didn't have the option. At least my mom had the option.
Right.
Like, I'll come down and even though my parents don't like each other and they've been divorced since 1991,
they'll help each other, right?
My father would take my mother in if she,
if you need it, yeah.
But then again, my mother would rather go to, one of my other family members' houses or even her own best friend's house. But, they live in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So, that's a line from from the front lines, of what the shit's going on in Manhattan. So, I've actually.
Stay strong.
If they don't have electricity, they're not hearing the podcast anyway, so. I guess we'll leave it at, and then also, it's funny, like, all my friends who are younger people, everyone's Facebooking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My friend Jackson Chow, and I don't mind, I'll say his name, he actually has a hand crank generator.
Awesome.
Nowadays with the newer generators, of course, it sucks living without power or anything like that. But for little things, like, if you could get your phone up and going, you can charge your phone. So he has a hand crank, and the newer generators have USB ports on them.
Oh. So I'll have to tell my dad, he's got he's an electrician, so whenever power went out, we were lucky that he would be like, he would have the huge generator outside.
With the engine. I had one.
Yeah. But I'll have to tell him about the new ones with the nice USB.
And even though I used to,
I'll be like, screw it.
I'm not promoting this because I used to work there, but they do have them in Radio Shack. Where, basically it's rechargeable batteries inside the deal.
Yeah.
You crank it up, charging up the rechargeable batteries, but then that gets rerouted to the USB. So, someone like I said, my friend Jackson, he's
using his hand crank.
He's using his hand, and he took a picture of his hand crank with his freshly charged cell phone. So, we're gonna get through this, people.
And I think after this, whether or not down the line, if we get hit again, whatever, I think now people will be more prepared.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing in disguise. I guess
you can't take New York out, people.
Yeah. Not gonna happen.
Crazed madmen, Mother Nature. We say,
you ain't got shit.
Spit in your eye.
Piss on your face.
And Two Strangers, One Podcast, we're gonna come back hard, we're gonna come back strong, and we're gonna fucking bitch slap you with the funny.
Hey,
all
yo.
Right. Let me get through this. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.com. Well, first and foremost, you can visit my our eBay page, or my eBay. It's been my eBay page.
It's Chris's. I don't run anything on there.
But basically, I'm selling my old
he does
comic
the tech
books.
stuff.
And I just went, I started selling other stuff the past couple days. I sold an open box, but I swear to God, never used breast pump. I sold this robotics kit. Well, no, I wasn't using the breast pump. That's the whole reason I sold it.
I'm selling a vibrator.
Yeah, I have all, you see, I got comic books and video games and then a breast pump. I do once again, stuff that's in a box that I never used that I bought just in case, but never got a chance to use it. This robotic system called the Vex, which I guess only the hardcore nerds would know about.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking, are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea, man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. It's just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will totally read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.